There he is, Mr. KC Armstrong. How are you, sir?
Hey, hey, what's going on in Cardiff, man? I'm so happy to be here with you. Really cool. Thank you. I never thought I'd do a show with such a glorious potato as yourself. So I'm psyched. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here. Guess what? You are here on a monumental day.
Why?
Today is the day I was unblocked by Stuttering John.
It's a day in history that we...
Can you believe that? I don't know if it's because I'm having you on that he unblocked me. He wants to see what's going on. He wants to know, but I don't know. It's a glorious day. It's been almost 2 years since I got blocked by Stuttering John. CMOS 4044, thank you for the €5. Hi, Cardiff, you were great on OPMLC. Very cool. You will read my super chat. Yes, I did. And Brand Hatley's Horror Wife, 199. Is KC down to shoot content with me and Brent? That's a question for you, KC. Are you down to shoot content with Brent and his allegedly...
Oh, dude, I'm down with anything, man.
All right.
I mean, come on.
As I said in my little preamble before Bedabbler tried to ruin my stream again, men of a certain age clinch their butt cheeks whenever they hear the name KC Armstrong. They think, what could be coming up behind me?
Oh, dear.
But Casey, the Dabbler community, what I've learned from the Dabbler community is there's a lot of new and young dabblers. So there may be some people out there watching tonight that don't know who KC Armstrong is. So that is my goal for this interview. Let's get KC out of the closet, so to speak. let's.
Dude, but Mr. Potato, I gotta tell you, and there won't be any puns. I'm not doing any potato puns.
No, please, it's fine.
But I gotta tell you, the people, it's unreal how nice people have been to me. Like if I go on like my YouTube channel, if I go on that chat, people will just say the nicest things. I'm flabbergasted.
I do think
dirtbag. I don't know why people are nice to me, but they are, and I really appreciate it. It's really been a booster in the positivity that I try and attract from potatoes and whatever else.
I do think the Dabbler community has been maligned by some, but they are really a warm and welcoming family. But I will warn you, don't cross these motherfuckers because
it's not my
thing. They will destroy you, KC.
Oh my God! In a minute, I wouldn't screw with any of them.
They will destroy you.
Well, this isn't part of the community, but I've already been challenged to a fight by Stuttering John, and I've been so scared since. I have been shaking, and I don't want to feel that fear ever again.
We don't want you to fear that fear.
Thank you.
So hopefully today we can mend fences. Blinky Jedi, thank you for the 199. El Horrible, brilliant, just brilliant. Okay. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to business.
Can I ask first before you do that?
Yes.
Can I just the idea? I know I'm sure you've done this, but just for me being curious, and I'm sure there's other people out there that are curious too. Why the potato? I'm sure you've been asked this before, but I need to know. It's brilliant. And
I have.
You had Levy like a 12-year-old, a 12-year-old with Down syndrome. So excited because you were flying back and forth.
Yes, it's very, very simple to entertain Bob Levy.
Please, why do you know?
The potato I did. So there was a guy doing a recap show of another podcast that WATP covered, and he was doing it as a potato. And this, I'll just, for lack of a better term, this no charisma zilch was doing this potato for 5 views every week. So I decided to mess with him a little bit with the potato filter, and people liked it. So before that, I was just an audio character, I guess. But people liked the potato, and c'est la vie, here we are. About a year later, I'm still doing the potato on YouTube. And I've got 2 channels monetized on YouTube. That's how much people like the potato.
I'm sorry to go through that, man, but I just got to tell you, you're brilliant, and every time you show up on the show, I am there. I can't take my eyes off you.
Yes, well, the jury is the jury's about a 50-50 on that one. I'm becoming the people that it used to be. Half the people were just like, eh, and then half the people like me. Now half the people like me, and half the people want to boil me.
But it's a content. You got good content, and you're all right. I'm gonna stop sucking off a potato.
No, I'm good. My lost interest. Thank you for the 199. You'd kiss a guy too if you loved
That's one of
Mangu.
my favorites. I can't read that. I'm sorry. You took them off anyway. But
yes, you'd kiss a guy too if you loved Mangu.
It doesn't beat Gay Photographs. Gay Photographs is my favorite, and then it's Sausage Party. I think is number 2. I don't know. What do you guys like?
Okay, well now my next 14 questions are gone because you've just answered them. Okay,
I'm a dick. I'm the town dick.
CMOS 4044, thanks for the €5. You're distracting my attention from the Resident Evil 4 remake. I hope you appreciate how impactful that is. Wow, we are drawing eyes today. Blinky Jedi, thank you for the 19. I am Dr. Remulek. Okay. Wow. Oh, Tommy Lee is here.
Hi, Tom.
That's cool. Anyway, so here's where we're going. So let's introduce you. Let's pretend we are doing a stream for 19-year-olds. What did you do at the Howard Stern Show?
Okay. Well, I started as an intern, and I kept while I was in college at Western Kentucky University. I was playing football down there, and I kept sending stuff and bothering them, and sending bits and jokes, whatever, just trying to get my foot in the door. And I got my foot in the door. I got an internship, and that summer, towards the end, Howard invited me to the writing meeting, which was surreal. That was pretty nerve wracking, but it was awesome. And then when I went back to play my 5th season, I ran to the computer and I wrote something every single day. To try and get in there. And then
you rented a computer?
I rented a computer. Yeah.
Wow.
This is going back, man. I'm old. So this is going back.
How old are you?
I was born in 75. So I'm like 47, 48.
Wow.
I don't know.
We don't hear first, folks.
Anymore.
What?
We don't celebrate birthdays after like 40,
No.
Like you just forget, who knows? But anyway, that's to answer your question. That's how I got in there. And then I worked as an associate producer. I was like Gary's assistant, and but I was hired for like writing and ideas and stuff like that. But they didn't know how good I could get Howard's Breakfast. They had no idea that I was that good at that.
Except there was that one. Never mind. I won't bring that up.
You can bring up anything, man. I got an open book, buddy. We'll share anything.
I would say you had, if we look at the career path at the Howard Stern Show, and we look at yours compared to Stuttering John's, I would say you rose through the ranks faster and possibly leapfrogged over Stuttering John. Would that be a correct statement?
Well, thank you so much for saying that. But when I got there, I mean, John was, he was huge. I mean, he didn't, like I said, he didn't do anything. But to have the balls that he did and to have the stutter, a star was born, And I remember being in college watching the show. I'm loving when John came on to read off the paper, that Fred and Jackie wrote. They read those questions out to celebrities who thought they were so much better than other people. And it was actually probably my favorite part of the show. And then I remember meeting when I first got there. They sent me out to do the Marv Albert, and they sent me to do Imus, and that was because everyone knew who John was. And I met John's awesome kid, and I know his ex. Now I think he's divorced, but Susanna. First time I met his kid, I still remember her name. It was Greta.
Don't talk about his kids.
Well, I don't mean to say anything.
No, just any way. It's not on my channel. I don't need a strike.
I don't talk about people's family or nothing like that. I'm just saying. I'm just giving a compliment about this cute kid, and he goes, "Hey, this is the man that's trying to take Daddy's job." That's what I remember about.
So he felt threatened.
I think that he wanted the full-time job. I don't know. I can't speak for John, and I don't. I'm not going to take shots at John or whatever. Hope he's well, but I'm just telling you the truth, and I'm just telling you as I know it. So that was what I just told you about meeting his wife. That was the first time I think I met Susanna, and a kid. We had a great family, So he's not a total fuck up. He did good things. He's got a good family. So got to give hats off to that, right?
Yes. So since you brought up Susanna, have you heard, is there any truth to the rumors that John and Susanna may have been swingers?
That's so funny you said that, because there's this thing, like I go to bed with YouTube on, right? You pop up sometimes. I wake up in the middle of the night and something else comes on or whatever. And one time this thing came on. It was John. I guess he was doing a reading for his book or something like that. And I have the clip saved. It's on my YouTube channel. And I mentioned it to Carl because I didn't know what it was about. And I'm not going to say anything because I know nothing about it. All I know is what I watched. And it seemed to me that there was something that was there's some nonsense going on there, because he said, I didn't want to bring it up because of my ex-wife. Have you heard the clip I'm talking about?
I've heard the clip. So you have no evidence other than that clip. You have nothing.
I don't. I never heard them talk about it. This is a new thing to me, and that's why I asked Carl and I asked, I think, Monique, and I don't know. I'm curious to think what you took from it.
Well, I was hoping you had some backstage gossip.
I wish I did, but I
wish you did too.
Yeah, I suck. But that's it's on YouTube, so I just asked questions. I didn't create the thing. I just was watching it, and I asked if anyone knew anything about it. So I'm with you, man. I'd like to know, because if any stuff like that was going on, I mean, that was when I was there. So I like to think I'm somewhat aware. I would have picked up on something like that, but who knows, man? You never know what people are doing.
Behind closed doors or open doors, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, one time I remember John and his wife, Howard and Beth, and me and this awesome girl that I was with at the time. Her name is
Howard Stern.
No.
Okay.
We were never an item. How old am I? But this great girl, her name was Jamie. I haven't talked to her in years, but we all went out to this. I still remember the name of it. You know that guy, Mario Battaglia, not the football player, the Mario.
The restaurant guy?
Molto Mario.
Yeah.
It was Babu or something like that. That was the name of the restaurant. It was like fancy. I felt weird. I ordered a whiskey while they were drinking wine, so I didn't really fit. But it was so awesome. And I do remember, as couples and stuff, because I never really did that stuff, but we went out to this nice restaurant. Howard, took us out. That was really cool. And John and Susanna were there. But to think that there might have been some chicanery going on, that's interesting, huh?
Very interesting. Jules David, thank you for the $8. Casey, he took your advice, or she took your advice, and placed the $8 bet on Gonzaga. So you better come through for him. You're now making picks for people on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's like, why would you put that out there? You're not getting anything. It would be different if there was like a sponsor that I was putting a plug in for or something like that. But I really believe that Gonzaga is going to win. They're probably playing right now and getting beat, but I really believe they're peaking at the right time. I like competition, man. I was a wrestler, so basketball is something I just don't do. And my old man was a wrestling coach. My brother's a wrestling coach. I was born at the wrestling camp. My family, that's how they made a living. They had a wrestling camp. My dad told me if I touched a basketball, I'd get warts. I believed him till I was about 12. That's a true story. So basketball, I don't know anything about, but I know competition. And if you get $8, bet Gonzaga, and you're going to get 100 back. So I hope I did right by people. But that's just it's a stupid thing to do, because I'm not going to. There's no winning here. I mean, the odds of me coming through and looking like a hero are about 0.5. But I'm taking it because I believe it, and that's all I can tell you.
If Red Bar's wife loses $8 because of you, we will hear about it. Thank you for the $1.99, Ian Hawk. Casey, what did you do with the money?
Okay, what's the joke for? For the money for what? For
Well,
better shirt, more iron shirt, maybe.
maybe.
Studio. You name it. Come on, what do you got?
No,
What?
I'll let you make up your own. That's fine. We Stuttering John is watching. Don't talk about my ex-wife's new husband ever again, Casey. I am warning you.
I didn't say
And
anything.
that troll Cardiff.
I didn't say anything about anything.
I don't know if that's the real Stuttering John. There could be an imposter. Oh, the money your parents spent on singing lessons.
But
There
I'm
you
not a
go.
singer. I don't get it.
Then they wasted their money. Casey,
But was I ever a singer? Did I ever try and sing?
no.
I don't get that joke. But that's all right. It's a try. I'm not
It's
going
an
to.
old stud. It's the old Stuttering John question.
Yeah, he did it to Ringo Starr.
Yes, the singing lessons.
Yeah.
Casey,
Yes.
are you gay?
I think life might be easier if I was, but I just don't have it. It's a chemical thing. It's like you're born. I don't care. I think you're born a certain way. You're wired a certain way, and I just don't have that attraction for guys. That's all I can tell you. I've never had a gay experience.
Have you ever dabbled?
What does that mean? Dabble. What do you mean, dabble?
You know.
I
Dabbled.
do stand up for years.
No. I meant in
What's that supposed
gayness.
to be? No.
No, okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Blinky Jedi, thank you for the 199. Was the royal flush real and 300,000 or a bit?
100%. And I wouldn't lie about that. I told the story on the air, and just to make it a short story, I was betting the max on Let It Ride. And I had the 10 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, Queen of diamonds. I turned over. I didn't pull back because you were, the odds of you getting, that's a straight right there. So you stay in. So then the king, and then the last one came, that ace came, and then that counter came up. You didn't see numbers go up that fast. Man, it was one of the best moments ever. I'd like to say I fell out of my chair, but I just remember like staring at it and wondering when it was going to end, because the money just kept going up. It ended at $330,000, and I called in sick the next day. Man, I was so happy. But that soon ended.
It's all gone.
Yeah, that ended. But it's a learning experience, I guess.
Casey, did you really have mental health issues? My lost interest with 199 wants to know.
Yeah, I mean, I still do. That's not something that you have and you're cured of. I just got on a new medication, and it seems to be helping a little bit.
Good.
So, yeah.
Casey, if 9/11 happened today, what would you do differently?
That's a good question. I definitely, when Chiasana said I could leave, I definitely would have left at that time. Yeah. And I definitely would have went back to Long Island to see my family and my friends. I definitely would have went out on my friend's boat, and we could see the city burning from out there. And no, I just, I wouldn't have got as angry as they made me. They made me get. It was a very. There was nothing I could do in the studio to help. What were they looking for? My political commentary or something like that?
I don't know.
Isano says I can leave. I'm gone.
But it was fun to listen to them.
Yeah,
Call you a pussy.
Totally, and yeah. But the thing is, like, the people that called me, they only stayed there because they were told that the bridges and the tunnels, you couldn't leave the city. And I remember I was in the same elevator as John when he was going down. But the only good thing I can say about that is when I came back in the next day or the day after, I forgot what it was. I used to run a lot in the city, so I ran down, and at the time I was like, in good shape, and figured if I could help, I could help. So I went down, and they wouldn't let people pass 14th Street. And it was really sad. People had these pictures of loved ones, because at the time they didn't know that we would never find them again. So everybody is just walking around with a candle. It was something I'll never forget. And yeah, just it's such a serious, it's a part of life that I'll never be okay with.
Mm-hmm. No, it was. I just remember listening to Howard that day. It was hard to listen to, but I can imagine being there. Benjamin Cohen with the 499. Whose idea was Turkish but billionaire? How hard was that to produce?
I believe that was Fred. I believe Fred came up with that one, and it's very funny. And how hard to produce that? No, that's real simple. You just put the hat on the person, you bring them up to the podium, and you give Howard the questions. And that was a real easy one to produce. The E guys are the ones that deserve all the credit for that because they had to do a lot, set up.
It's a very, very visual bit.
Well, you would know about that.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, with you appreciate that with how much you
yes.
put into it because you shine in a lot of areas, but aesthetics is definitely one of your in your wheelhouse, your tools.
Ian Hawk with 499. KC, in 2014, why did WRNW1 claim they signed you to a multi-million-dollar deal? In 2015, why did Jenna Reese write a story claiming you're a scammer?
I don't know who that person is, and when they put out a press release, I had nothing to do with it. That's the company I was working for. I got hired to do just interviews. I had nothing to do with that company. I was just someone that they hired like a jock, like an on-air DJ. So I interviewed people, and there's been talk, and it really brings me down when people think that the station that I've had and been on the air for 6 years, WMAP, put out 2 books, that I can't tell you how many letters I've saved. I haven't had one person charge back or advertiser charge back. Everyone's been happy, and I run business the way that I like to be treated. I don't scam anybody, and that makes me upset. So if you're going to post or anyone's going to post stuff like that, please just do the research first. All right. You can not like me and you can say I'm a jerk or not like what I do, but just don't make up lies. At least research it first because I never did anything. I never scammed anybody. I wouldn't want to be scammed. So why would I do that to somebody else? That's the honest truth. So, but
you heard it here, Ian Hawk. You heard it here.
Thank you for asking that. I'm glad that I got to say that because it bothers me. Stuff like that bothers me. I'm not that type of person.
Carlos Danger, freaking Ralph, am I right? Thanks for the $2. My lost interest, thanks for the 109. Casey, did you ever get to insert the ring toss stick?
No, that was Artie. That was Artie's thing. He used to put the hood on and say he was the Lord. He was the Lord of the ring toss. No, I never got to do the inserting, but I did get to hold Pam Anderson's legs down when she got tickled one time, and John was doing the tickle. I just remember I remember his tongue twitching like really 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 fast, like in spasm as he was laughing. Just these little things I remember. He did a good job. He was tickling her and doing a great job of it, and I got to hold her legs down. So when I die and they do the obit, they got to include that.
That's what you want on your headstone.
That, and I want them to play the song at my funeral. It's by Tom Petty. It's called "Even the Losers Get Lucky Sometimes."
So not a Richard Christie KC song. That's not what you want at your funeral. You want Tom Petty.
Yeah, only if it's a remix of dubstep.
All right. Ian Hawk, thank you again for the 490. This is for KC. Thank you for answering my questions. Please write a check to John with the details on how he will send the money to KC. Thank you.
Yeah. You took down my channel.
Blinky Jedi, what did you squat, deadlift, bench?
The
at your peak.
I think I made it into the 900 club. So the bench I did 225 20 times. Which is better than the max, which was about 340. And then the squat, I did 315 for like 12 or 15 or something. But I did make it into the 850 club. So all three of them combined. Yeah.
Who wrote The Wheel of Sex? Benjamin Cohen wants to know for $1.99.
Wheel of Sex. I believe that I don't remember whose idea it was, but I believe everyone, like Howard, when Howard would write on those notes, he would say, "Yes, let's go with this. Let's do this. Let me have your ideas," and everyone would, write, different planks for the Wheel of Sex. So that was some of the interns could have wrote some of those.
So it was a team effort.
Yeah, that was a total team effort, if I remember correctly.
KC,
Yes.
spell follow.
You dick. All right. See if I learned anything in 20 years. It's either F-A or F-O. F-O-L-L-O-W.
Congratulations.
Yeah?
You win.
I'm a genius.
Do you still keep in touch with Miss Howard Stern?
I think in the past, like 10 years, I'm not a guy that goes on like social media very often, unless it's like, to put a message out there or to promote something or whatever. So I don't check it too often. But I remember recently, actually, she had written something to a bunch of people, and I guess I was in the thread. And then it was kind of it was a little bit sad. So I just wrote back, "Is everything okay?" And she said everything was. So that's the communication I've had.
That's the extent.
Nice person.
So as I alluded to at the beginning of the show, I was unblocked by Stuttering John today. Stuttering John has been on a unblocking binge over the last few days. His tone on Twitter, his demeanor seems to have taken a shift. All right around the time that you came out with a tease that you had some things to say.
Yeah.
Do you think that that Stuttering John is trying to change the narrative, so to speak, and maybe get some people on his side before this big information comes out? And is that information going to come out tonight, KC Armstrong?
Yeah, Cardiff, man. I was I was thinking about putting that together, and my producer, big shout out to BonJovial. He's awesome. He's been doing some editing for me, and I'm gonna get it to him. But here's the thing, man. I responded because he wanted. I heard because I don't go on. Maybe I'm blocked. I don't know. I heard he wanted to challenge me to a fight, so I put it out there like, no, I don't want to fight you. I enjoy my freedom. I enjoy. I don't mean to. I don't want to hurt anybody. So no, I will not be fighting John, and I am going to just do a kind of a retro with all the correspondence that I've had, and I kind of like if the dabblers and everyone in the universe would let me know what they think, because I don't believe in my heart that he contacted. Well, I mean, all signs point to it. The people I trust tell me that's his account, and he did contact my mom, and he did say, called me out and said some really bad things about me. But in my heart, I can't believe that he would do that. But everybody tells me, yeah, that's him. He's doing it. So I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to just read what I got. I'm going to show you the addresses that it came from. And I really hope that it wasn't him. But like I said, the people that I trust and have no stake, no dog in the race, they tell me it's him because they've been
there.
Yeah, and they've been contacted through the same address. And there's another real good friend of mine whose husband or wife or better half was contacted, who had nothing to do with anything. And that I know is 100% true. So I guess my being naive and gullible to think that people are basically good. I think I think this is just me showing my gullibility. I'm sure it is him, but I don't want to believe it is. Why would you do that? I mean, you screw with me as much as you want, but why would you involve? I don't know. But
Prior to leaving the show, would you have considered John a friend?
yes.
A good friend
Uh,
or an acquaintance?
one-on-one,
Okay.
one-on-one, a friend. But as soon as you get in, like with other comedians, or if you get in with anybody, if there's another person in the mix, no, he's not. He would not be my friend because now he has to look a certain way. He has to look better, and that friendship. Where if we're just playing one-on-one, I remember playing golf with him one time. I'm like, this guy's cool, you know. He can. He's not. But then you watch something. You watch something that he does, and it's all about him, and he's using people. Everybody is nothing unless they can do something for him. His relationships are all transactional. I guess that's the real dude. But one-on-one, different story, man. Maybe there's somebody like that. I don't know.
Yes.
You
Not
do?
like that, but yes.
Not to that extent.
No. Cardiff Pedantic with $2. KC, what other vegetables will you talk to? It's a very good question.
Big fan of cauliflower, but Armstrongs don't really do vegetables or eat them.
Interesting. Arcona with $9.99. KC, in a hypothetical fight with John, how would it end? How many rounds before John knocked you out, KC?
I don't want to think about it because it scares me so much.
Interesting. KC, the last time you were in Fort Lauderdale and you were at the Ramrod, what was the parking situation like?
Are you talking about the Ramrod or are you talking about the Rusty Dong in Sarasota?
Possibly. Could be that too.
I gotta ask Richard on that one. But yeah, the parking lot, there was a bunch of trucks and a lot of people in the driver's side sitting, and then every once in a while you would see a head pop up. Maybe it was Vito from The Sopranos. I don't know.
It could have been. KC, have you ever used steroids?
Yes.
How long? Was that in high school?
No. Not even in college. College, they test you. So probably first time I used the HGH and test and Anavar, I think. But as you get older, test cypionate is it's a, I don't know what it does to potatoes, but it really is not the fountain of youth, but it brings a lot of it back, and we lose a lot of it as men. So and I still take tests now. I'm still on it. Just being honest.
How comfortable are you being shirtless in the studio these days?
Yeah. If it's summertime, I don't wear shoes or a shirt. Outside, I covered my backyard with AstroTurf, and there's a basketball hoop. So I never wear anything other than shorts in the summertime.
Jules David with another $5. A great question, Casey. I got to ask.
Is that
why?
Laura's wife?
Yes.
I like that show.
Why do you want to come out now with all the Stuttering John stuff? Where were you for the last few years when Dabblers needed you? And you probably would have really cashed in. You're coming in at the tail end of a trend here.
Yeah, no, you're right. But the thing was, Jules, I didn't know that he said all that stuff about me. Like, I didn't know any of it. I didn't pay attention to it. I was just working, doing my thing, working a job. And my friend Autumn, who's no longer with us, she would get mad about the stuff that he wrote. I'm like, Autumn, it's so long ago. It's like 20 years ago. Nobody cares. He's just goofing around. If he feels that way, fine. It doesn't matter. It's not going to bother me, But then once I got to start watching some stuff, a guy just said some really, it just wasn't funny. It was like an attack. So all these things that he said, I'm like, well, all right, I'll just speak my piece here, and I'll just, do 3 or 4 videos, and a lot of people like them and they want to hear this stuff. So I think for me personally, I got about like 1 or 2 videos left. But if people like them, I'll just hey, people have been so cool. I'll do more of them. But the next one is going to be all the correspondence between us as far as emails and texts and stuff. And I got no, I have no angle here. I'm just telling you what's happening. I'll show it to you guys, and then after that, I'll goof around if they still want me to do stuff because I really like these people. They're so cool and they're really kind to me, like you. Like you are on here. What you people don't know is that Cardiff was on for like an hour or an hour, 2 hours beforehand, trying to get me to understand how to work this because this is a new thing. This isn't radio. And there's been so many other people, like I mentioned, BonJovial, Monique. Everyone's helping out, and I like to be around that type of stuff. I like those people. I like the potato.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we did try to get do this stream on your channel. Get you. So that's at the KC Armstrong.
Yeah, right. but since John took me down, now I got to go and I have to appeal so I can do live streams.
You can't. You're shut down from doing live streaming. So yes, that is extremely unfortunate. But we will get you up at the KC Armstrong. Everybody go subscribe there. $4.99 from Captain Kickass. Yes, Cardiff does indeed rule.
He does.
He does. Casey, who elects the president?
Well, the Electoral College does, but I would like to think we do.
Congratulations, you got it.
Thank you.
You studied. Who gave you my questions in advance? Casey Armstrong. Who gave you?
I will not reveal the sources, my man. And yeah.
What was your favorite moment on the Stern Show? Or a group of moments? Getting hired?
That day I was in college and sat with Howard in the studio, and Gary was there, and he said, "Hey, he offered me the job." He said, "How soon can you get here?" And I said, "All right, let me just get." I just don't want to stick my roommates back in Kentucky because I still hadn't graduated yet. I had another half a year to go. And that semester was the best semester as far as athletes go, because if you redshirt your first year, the 5th year, that spring semester, you don't do shit. You don't do anything. You can play golf. You don't have to go to.
I will say most dabblers probably weren't athletes. What does it mean to redshirt?
Redshirt means you're probably about 18 coming out of high school, and the first year redshirt means you practice, but you don't play. As you mature a little bit, so you can compete, because you're really a boy among men when you're getting there.
Yes. What was your favorite thing? What was the favorite thing you contributed to the Howard Stern Show in your time? How long were you at the Stern Show?
I think like 6 or 7 years.
So what was the favorite thing that you brought to the show? You contributed, you wrote, you did, had the most impact. What made your name? Was it the parade?
Well, that was
my favorite.
Yeah, that was fun. I think my favorite would be all those like the clips of like stand-up comics or bits or like How's Your News? Maybe How's Your News? Maybe that could be it.
How's Your News?
How's Your News? Like, like these things that were played in bumpers, or it's not one big thing. It's just I like to think that I had like I was consistent. I had to get something on the air every week, no matter what it was. And
was that the edict? Was that the edict, or is that you?
Oh, it was mine.
It
was mine.
Okay.
And that it never happened where I didn't get anything on, because you got to get it by Howard. You got to produce it. And I kind of helped myself out because I learned, which is weird because everything's changed, but I learned how to use the engineering equipment so I could actually edit it, put it on. We use carts. I don't even know if you know what that is because
like an old 8-track.
yeah, yeah, and have it from start to finish in a thing. Here, do you approve this? And I give it to him during a commercial. So I think that's the best thing that I did.
I'm removing my carts around now on the table.
So you're an old radio dude, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
It was just an old boxer. So most we know, Jackie's bare ass on his book, Ooga.
So hot.
Thank you, Carlos Danger, for the $2. KC, we know Howard. I've listened to thousands of hours of Howard. Many of the dabblers have listened to thousands of hours of Howard. Thousands of hours of Howard. What's Howard like as a person?
I was always kind of impressed, like sitting because there was everyone sat in the same spots for the meeting we had every week. So Howard would always sit in the guest spot all the way to the right, and then I would sit next to him, and then Gary would be next, and he was the one that would say yes or no to everything. So I was just so impressed with the way that he could make a decision and put the thought into seeing if it will work on the radio. So that was very impressive for me. The pensiveness, the thought, and just weighing everything in a matter of 10 seconds or whatever to say yes, we're going to do this, or no, we're not going to do that. I thought that was really cool.
You ever spend any time with Howard outside of the studio?
Not much. I mean, I used to walk him up and walk him down, and like I told you about that time, he was.
I guess I meant off duty.
Okay, yeah. He was kind enough to invite me and my girlfriend out with him and John and his wife one time, and that's a funny story. I'll tell you one time about Dave Chappelle. It's it was one of the times where I saw racism so blatant.
From John?
No. From Dave Chappelle was going to meet us at this. I don't go to clubs, so wherever, I guess it was a club that Howard took us to afterwards, and Dave Chappelle was supposed to meet us there. Everybody around was smoking pot. Everybody. So when Dave comes in, this big bouncer comes up to him, and everybody's been smoking, right? But all of a sudden, there's this huge commotion because the only black guy in there, they get him for smoking pot, and they want to kick him out and causing a big scene. And it was only because the guy was black. Everybody was like, the person next to him was smoking. So to see that, I mean, you can't make that up. That was the reason. He wasn't being loud or anything. He just looked different. So that's I don't know if that's an interesting story, but Dave Chappelle got pointed out for smoking pot when there were people right next to him doing the same thing. And
breaking news.
Out.
Breaking news: Dave Chappelle uses drugs. And thank you, Trucker 18-wheeler, for the $2. Cardiff, why did you and other diffs fight on Opie? Well, that's for another day. My Lost Interest wants to know, what's your craziest Johnny Fratto story for $1.99?
Johnny Fratto, I miss him a lot. I just talked to Johnny Jr. not too long ago, but Johnny had this thing where he made me drive to Vegas with him. And one thing he said, he goes, remember that scene in Casino where, because we passed these cornfields or whatever? He goes, believe it or not, those people really cared about that. He said the real guy or whatever his name was. I'm thinking to myself, how do you care about it? What does that mean? I don't even want to ask. But between that and him starting some gay song he liked to listen to from the 80s for 30 seconds and then switching it, he did it for 6 hours to Vegas, playing 20 seconds of a song.
The same song?
No, not the same one. 20 seconds of a song and go to the next one at high decibels. Each song worse than the next 20 seconds of it.
And was this a playlist that he had put together, or is this random radio stations?
Johnny liked what he liked, man.
He had a mixtape.
He must have. Back then, I guess it was CDs, wasn't it?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know, but yeah, that story kind of sucked. But Johnny Fratto's awesome. Miss him a lot.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Waste Bandit B, $2. This is a good question. In your time at Stern with John, did you ever notice anything that would make you think he had OCD?
Yes.
Like?
100%. Not only did he say that he had it, but I saw him a lot of times standing kind of at a doorway, about to enter a room. I can't remember exactly what it was. Maybe it was a step and then a step back. Something strange like that, like entering rooms.
Okay.
That's
So there was something. Did you ever bust his balls about it?
No. He, I know he was on Zoloft, and at the time I think I was trying different antidepressants or whatever. Most of the stuff was on the air, but yeah, he definitely has OCD and has a complex where to look bad in front of people is his worst fear. So that's the only reason why he won the fight against Cabby. Not only did Cabby not train, but John was not going to look bad in front of people. So he trained. That's the difference between, you want to know why somebody won. Well, one person trained and one didn't.
So John had a desire to not look bad in front of people. I'm wondering when that stopped. When did that stop? KC, Jake Hudson with $2. Where can I send you a video? I'm not sure what video he wants to send you, but if somebody wanted to send you a video, where could they do that?
I guess I give out my email. Is that cool? Yeah.
Sure.
It's KC at WMAPradio.com. Yeah, send me
Whatever you want.
whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Hey, how's Gonzaga doing?
Anybody? Are you asking me?
Well, I'm asking the people. I think they're playing now.
If anybody has a score of the Gonzaga game, post it in the chat, please.
You know what a big douche I look like. How bad?
47-4. Casey, who from the Stern Show would you say was your best friend off the air?
Artie,
Ronnie.
I loved a lot of them.
But Artie would be number one?
Yeah.
Artie seemed the most likable from the audience's point of view, I would say, too.
Before he got the gig, and he used to come in every once in a while, we would go out to Belmont, which is a horse track. We would go out every Friday. Some of the best memories I got. And he's a guy that is so generous and
12-3. I don't know for who.
I don't know for who, but Artie was just such a great guy, and really miss him. But he's very hard to get a hold of.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
I saw him at a comedy club here on Long Island back when Autumn was alive. So that was over 2.5 years ago.
Wow. So maybe just before COVID?
Yeah. Yep.
Casey, what's your favorite word?
You're awesome. Requiem.
What's your least favorite word?
Negative. I'm trying to play along. What some self-absorbed narcissist would say.
I'm not going to ask you all 10 of the Bernard Pivot questions. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless I need to kill time, which I don't think I do. What's one story you have off the air? Your greatest moment, the most fun you had with Artie?
We were at Belmont, and
Racetrack?
Yeah, it's a horse track, and between races, he was in his element. He loved it. He loved to go to the different places where you could get something to eat, like in between the first and second race, it would be a pretzel, right? Second and third, get a hot dog.
Was that a routine?
Yeah, it was.
It had to be the same things each.
Well, no, it was there, but he would just go find something different, and then after he'd eat, we'd have maybe 17 minutes for the race, so we'd bring a football and we'd have a catch, right? Artie, don't think that the guy isn't a great athlete, because he is. He can fire. He's got a great arm. And one time he ripped a fast spiral bullet right to me. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe I had a drink in the hand or something. I didn't catch it, and it went straight, and it hit this girl. And I felt so bad, and he felt even worse. Um, but I don't know why that comes up as a good memory. She wasn't hurt or anything, but it was just, the guy was a great athlete. Having a football catch with my friend, being out there, Belmont. I love horses. That's probably
It was just a day you wish you could have on your darkest day. That's the day you wish you could go back to with
it
Artie.
was fun. It was fun. It's back then, it was a different day, and it was before all those horrible things happened to him, and that he was in a better place. But I hear now that he's doing better, and I wish that's the case, because he's an amazing person and a great friend, someone that's made a difference in my life as far as showing kindness, and a real awesome person.
Now, I would, if I had to answer this question, I would probably say the Artie years, but it would be a tough question to answer. But what would you say was the best era of the Howard Stern Show?
I would say, because it's what I know the best. It was when Artie. It was an Artie era, and it was right around the time that I was leaving. I think that was when they hit this, right when they went to Sirius. I think I was in rehab a bunch of times, so I didn't get to hear much of it. But from what I did hear, it seemed like Artie was on his stride. They were really doing something different at Sirius. So probably the end of K-Rock, beginning of Sirius, I would say is when that show was the best.
The ramp up to Sirius was definitely, I would say, some of the golden.
Is that what you think? What do you think?
The golden years. Yeah, I would say, yeah, that ramp up, that year going into Sirius where Howard's like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And into those first couple years at Sirius where it was like, well, I mean, there was the first day I was like, what do you mean there's commercials? I thought there was no commercial. But once we got past that, what do you mean you can't have anal sex in the studio? But once we got past that, yes, those are some good. And Artie at his, and I've seen Artie do stand up live a bunch of times. Great stand up, but nothing beat how he is, that the ball busting.
Yeah.
The in the room, the on the show.
I mean, that woman from Chicago who he used to put that accent on, and then the Gary the retard stuff. Jeff
Conqueror.
He was so good. Artie was just so great. But there was something too that was so cool about it, where there was a line, and something real interesting about how close to the line that they came, rather than serious, being able to curse. I liked it better when they were kind of teetering on appropriate, inappropriate, what they get away with. Does that make any sense?
Yes. Yeah. That was the dance.
Okay.
That was the dance.
Yeah.
So KC, you mentioned rehab. How many times have you gone to rehab, and what for?
I think my last count was like 6 or 7.
What for?
Mainly it was supposed to be alcohol, but then it just found out it was more of the mental illness. So that, I guess they came up with the conclusion that, you self
part of your therapy, part of your treatment became helping you with your mental illness.
Right. And a lot of it was self-medication to compensate for mental illness and depression and stuff like that. But that's a boring and not a fun conversation.
No. How are you doing now?
Good. I'm in a better place and doing okay. Thank you.
Good. How quickly can you disassemble a computer for one?
Yeah, I'm still good with that, and I'm still good at taking apart remote controls. I just don't have the time anymore.
It's a good business these days. The remote control repair business. You should think about it. Umlaut with $2.20 Canadian. Casey, have you ever seen Jackie refuse to tell a joke?
Never.
Well, you should watch. You should listen to my podcast when I interviewed Jackie the Joke Man.
What happened?
Well, I asked him to tell a joke, and he said no, and then ended the call.
What? That doesn't sound
Yes,
like Jackie.
he started to get a little upset once I brought up Stuttering John,
What?
and when I asked him to tell me a joke, he just said, "I don't want to be part of this. This feels like a Stuttering John prank, and I'm out of here."
Oh, so okay. So he thought that you were setting him up for something.
Yes.
That's the thing. There's a lot of that going on because really, like I had a friend that I used to work with. This is so funny. It just happened 2 days ago. He goes, "I want you to come and I want you to speak to the students." He's a professor at Norfolk State, and of course, I want to do my friend a favor. I don't want to talk about myself. That's kind of a nightmare. I don't want to do it. I don't think I should be doing it. It's not anything that I would sign up for. But if my friend wanted me to do something, I would do it. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, this is a great bit to get me with. It could be really funny if it was, someone setting me up. So I get what Jackie might have been after, but he didn't do any research on you, know how popular you are, and
This is very early on. I wasn't even a potato then.
okay, all right,
Pre-potato, PP,
yeah.
as we say in the biz.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that happened. Jackie's.
And he's blocked me as well too.
I don't know what when people became so sensitive.
Yeah. Waste Bandit B for the $5. Do you think John regrets leaving Stern, or is he okay with how it turned out? He brings him up all the time and seems bitter to the guy that gave him a chance. What say you?
Yeah, I see. I don't get that. Like, from what I've heard, what I've read, and everything that he said, it's like I don't think he's doing it just for attention. I think he really doesn't like him. And for something that happened 20 years ago, it's pretty. That's why I wrote 2 books, right? And they both did well. I mentioned Howard once, and it was just to thank for giving me a chance to do that. Even if I was mad at him for any reason, which I'm not, I wouldn't write about it 20 years later. Why would I do that? Why would anyone do that? Why would you? It makes you really look desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
Yes, I do. Again, yes, I think thank him. It was a great time, but yeah, to keep going back to it and back to it. Now, let me ask you something, Casey. You're in a very similar situation as John was. Have you received any royalties from your likeness, your voice being used on Sirius XM?
No, because I don't work there anymore. Why would I get checks?
So when is your lawsuit coming?
I don't know. I'm going to root for those people. I'm not going to sue them. Why would I do that? It's stupid.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting approach.
I don't work there anymore. They paid me when I worked there, but now I don't.
Did you ever work for Sirius? Did you work for Sirius?
No,
you were gone by then.
Right.
Okay.
But I guess the argument is that since they're playing maybe some old shows with me on it on Sirius,
you should sue.
That's stupid. No,
I might have a lawyer for you if you're interested.
I'm not. That's not fair. I worked. I consider it flatter. I can't say the word.
Flattery.
Thank you. Yeah, if something is good that I'm on it and they're going to replay it, I consider that a great compliment. So, I thank you. I don't understand that line of thinking where you deserve. Well, it's that entitlement thing.
Yes,
I'm so special. You can't use my name and likeness, even though I don't work there anymore. Come on, you got to be kidding me.
So John Tard's Dark Brandon shirt asks, Stuttering John said he wrote all the bits and Howard's jokes, and KC wasn't even on Lotus Notes. Were you, KC, on Lotus Notes?
Yeah. I actually, there was another database too where in the Lotus Notes, it was like almost like a task editor type thing where I had to check in with John for the one or two things that he would like, the mail or something like that. I had to check in. I guess he hated that because I was, basically his boss.
Must have loved.
No, I'm not. But yes, I mean, I had to report. I had to be on top of him. Yeah, that's what he didn't like because I guess he didn't like that I just came in and I got the full-time job and I put the time in there. I didn't leave after the show, and that's it. Was involved with everything, and to do that, you have to work. You have to put the time and be responsible for stuff. But he just wanted the same kind of. He wanted to feel like he was needed or required. We couldn't do the show without him. But you see, as when he left, it's like, all right, we'll just get an intern to do the phones.
Now, we saw you a couple times on the show getting very heated, getting very angry.
Yeah.
And Mark Besson asks, in that post 9/11 teasing, he thought you were literally going to kill John. How close were you to actually, in any occasion, how close were you to throwing fists in the studio?
Well, see, that was the whole thing. Like, I thought it was okay. I never got mad at any ball busting or gay stuff. I always thought it was funny. But there was a couple times in that thing is why I got so mad is that it's another man telling me I'm a pussy or challenging me. And that's not ball busting. That's not joking around. That's something that you would never say to it. But, when you got not beer muscles, show muscles, because I can't touch you and I can't do anything. That's the epitome of being a coward, knowing someone can't do anything to you or I'd lose my job. And I wasn't going to lose my job over that, even though I was about to snap. Yeah, I tell you, he's good at busting shoes because of what I just said. The balls to do that, knowing that I can't touch him. I was really. It's a good thing that I was. In one case, I was smart enough to realize the bigger picture.
Gonzaga 9, UCLA 7.
Okay,
so we're very early in the game.
Thanks, Jules.
Now, a very good question from Wan
Yeah.
Paku Jozu. Was the wheel of sex fixed?
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Breaking news, you heard it here first, or maybe the 40th time, but I've heard it first. The wheel of sex was fixed. What other contests on the Stern Show were fixed?
Well, there was no big conspiracy. It was me that I would choose what it would land on because I had my hand around and I would stop. And sometimes it did it so horribly that it would be spinning, like quickly, and it would just stop. Like it a stick got thrown in there or something, and it would land on whatever I wanted it to land in. So no one was telling me what to do. I stopped it because maybe selfishly I thought it would entertain me or be good for the show. But if you watch that, you'll see that it's clear that I was horrible at trying to slowly slow the wheel down. I just crowbarred it to stop. Yeah, I suck.
Very good. KC Armstrong, could you do me a favor?
Yes.
Could you look into the camera and say, thank you, David Chandler, for the $49.99 super sticker?
Nice. Thank you, David Chandler. I appreciate that.
One of the greatest dabblers.
You're a great dabbler. And if John didn't get my channel turned off, that 49 would be coming to me.
Yes, I wasn't sure why you appreciated it. It's mine.
I know.
But we'll get
you're
you. We'll take.
You're very generous, and thank you.
May 13th in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I will be. You don't drink, do you?
No.
Okay, I'll buy you a coffee and a bagel.
Okay, cool.
How long have you been sober?
Um, I don't even. I just say today.
Today is a good
I
day.
just say today, and that's when I get caught up, I got 2 years, I got 2 months, I got 2 weeks. That's too much pressure. I can just deal with today.
Today is the day.
Because getting through a day is that's where it starts. And I think once you start waiting for your 1 year birthday or whatever, that's something that's just so far away. Just try and do the best you can today. If anyone out there is like me,
In recovery.
yeah.
Waste Bandit B with $5 wants to know how many versions of John are there, depending on who's around. Is John a different person?
Yeah,
Depending on the crowd he's in.
100% waistband. When you're with John one-on-one, great guy, different story than if you're in a group or anywhere where, anywhere where he feels he has to one up or he has to look a certain way. But you play golf with him one-on-one, I tell you, even his biggest enemies would like him.
Not Tom Chiasano playing golf.
Yeah, but there were cameras around, and so he's got to play it up. But that's kind of a funny story. I think he did beat Tom on one hole or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different. That could be because he had to perform for the cameras or whatever. But it's a lot different when you're one-on-one with John. So don't think I hate the guy. I don't. I wish him the best. I wish him and his family the best. But if it's true what he did, and as far as challenging me to a fight, okay, that whatever, that's not going to happen. But just don't ever include my family or someone who doesn't have anything to do with us. That's just unacceptable. And I really hope that that's untrue. But all signs point to that's what you did. So
was when Fred's money fixed?
No, not at all.
That was legitimate.
Totally. Yeah, that's he didn't know the questions. That's I'll give you my word on that. He didn't know. He's a very bright guy, and I don't remember him losing like once, or maybe once or twice. I don't know, but that's all Fred, and nothing, no chicanery going on there, bud.
Oh, good. Blinky Jedi with 999. Swear on Bible, let it ride wasn't a bit in a commercial. I don't know what that is.
I don't swear. I don't ever.
What is Let It Ride?
Let It Ride is a game. It's like you get dealt 3 cards.
Okay. So
that was exactly what I said it was. I give you my word on that. I'm afraid of God. I believe in God, and I just never swear. I'll swear on anything else.
Fair.
Except my family. But it is exactly, I'm telling you the truth, $330,000, and I lost it.
Oh, okay, that's the reference. The royal flush.
And then later I went to them and I said, I talked to someone from Golden Palace. I said, this is what I did. I lost this money. I'll go on the air and talk about it. Is there anything that you can do for me? So they gave me $2,000 in credits. And that helped my decision. But the 2,000 I lost too. So nobody ever knew about that. I just went on the air with it. So none of it was fixed. It was all real, and it makes me sick every day.
Was the Hank, the drunken dwarf, beating Gary and Rock trivia, was that real?
That was definitely real.
Wow.
I remember something like Gary's very good with that trivia, and Hank was too. None of that stuff was never fixed. That was all real.
DJ DY for $199. Would you do a Stuttering John album review?
I don't want to listen to that.
There's your answer. Waste Bandit B. Sorry?
Not my type. Not.
You're a hip hop guy.
No. I'm a metal guy.
You're a metal guy.
Actually, I like everything. I like Andrea Bocelli. I like some country. I like rap. I'm lame. I like every. But mostly metal.
Who's your favorite metal band?
Rammstein's probably my favorite.
Du hast.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the only one I know.
Typo, Chris Whitley.
Typo negative. Yes, very nice.
All right.
$2 more for Casey's view on sobriety, if you have anything left to say on the topic.
If you know someone who's an addict, I can guarantee you they're probably not having fun. It's after a while, it's no longer, you don't even get like a head change anymore. It's you do something just to be able to go through the day. So my heart goes out to the people that go through withdrawal and stuff like that. So, I'm not saying that you're doing it, but people who judge drug addicts and alcoholics, they're not having fun. Trust me. All right.
Okay. Casey,
Yes.
I think we're going to start wrapping up.
Awesome.
What do you have to plug?
Well, I got to tell you that I have someone in Canada that is doing a grand opening on Saturday. It's called Lavender Lane. It's in Ontario, Canada, and Saturday is the grand opening. They moved to like a bigger place. They got Reiki. They got like tapping. Everything's spiritual. It's like the mall for holistic health. So that's going on. And I got my my YouTube channel, which is KC Armstrong 1. Please be a subscriber, and we're gonna work it out later where I can start streaming. And
yes, we'll get you streaming.
Yeah, I'm just. Big shout out to BonJovial and Radio Gunk. I love those guys. Julie, Anthony, and to you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you to the Dabblers and everyone who's been so cool to me. It's really been a great experience with how cool you guys have been. So I just want to say thanks.
Is this Lavender Lane?
Yeah.
This is Lavender Lane. Save the date. March 25th, 10 to 4.
It's a grand reopening, and it's a great thing.
Is a good friend of yours?
Yes.
Well, if you are in Canada, first of all, I'm sorry that you're in Canada. But if you are in Canada, what?
Did you ever live in Canada? I hear it in your accent.
Oh, Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota, yes.
Okay.
But yes, go to Lavender Lane Wellness Center. I'm not sure where they are, but Lavender Lane ptw.ca. Big plug for Lavender Lane today.
Cool.
Get extra security now that it's been plugged on the Cardiff Electric show with KC Armstrong. Any social media, anything else, any live appearances you want to promote, like May 13th in Pottstown, Pennsylvania?
Yes. I don't know the details, but I
Soul
think
Jewels.
you're going to go, right? You're there.
Yes, I'll be there.
So we get to hang out, and I get to meet these cool people of the Dabblers. I get to meet all of them, and I'm excited. Man, that's the most that I'm excited for, is to meet these cool people that write nice comments, and they write to me, and to meet you, and just everybody in the whole Dabble universe. It's pretty neat.
Very good. It's been a pleasure, Casey.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I was a little starstruck that I was actually sitting there trying to help KC Armstrong
that's very nice.
Get his StreamYard working. I spent a lot of time listening to you in the car, and I'm glad to have you. Thank you for your honesty tonight. Unless you were lying, then go fuck yourself for lying to me. But I don't think you did.
What am I lying about?
I'm just covering all my bases now because, I've gotten a little bit of hate this week. So I just want to make sure when Kevin Brennan discusses me the next time.
What did you do wrong?
I don't know. I made a joke about a lie, so I guess that was out of school.
Did it have to do with with the guy Chad who?
Yes.
Hey, he wrote me, and little did I know, I helped him change a tire 15 years ago in California. I had no idea.
Breaking news: KC Armstrong changed the tire for Chad Zuma. Was he able to change the tire without you?
No, he said that I think that if I ever help somebody, I did it. So I guess maybe he wasn't good at that or whatever, but I thought it was nice of him to say that and remember. And See, it all comes back, man. Like I would do that for anybody, and I hope they would do it for me. And it was cool for him to just write me and say, "You don't know this, but it was in a Ralph's parking lot, and you changed my tire." It was cool to hear that, because I remember one time I changed this guy on that side of the highway. I changed this guy's tire. He had a Mercedes, really nice. And when I got done, the guy didn't even say thank you. I'm not doing it for that reason, but I just thought it was just like, really? Okay. I got like dirt all over my knees, and I'm sweating. The guy didn't even say thank you. I thought that was a little bit.
Breaking news: Chad Zumach did not say thank you.
I know it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was a different guy. But
different guy.
but
Andy
he said that.
Andy from Ontario in the chat, May 13th, Pottstown, PA. Andy from Ontario, if you want to put the link up for tickets, Uncle Rico Show live tickets, I think Andy from Ontario put that in there, but he is in Ontario. He will be at Lavender Lane this Saturday. I guarantee it. We've got somebody else. Wes Harris will be driving 4 hours and 33 minutes to Lavender Lane this Saturday.
That's awesome.
And KC Armstrong.
The other thing that you said that is really cool is that you're going to give me this, and I'm going to put this up on my channel, right?
Yes, this video I will give to you, and the live stream I'm taking, and then I'll give the video to you to put up on yours, awesome. And we'll figure that out so you'll have some content people want to read.
I'm not lying about a royal flush.
Blinky Jedi is not lying about the royal flush. There you go. Casey, legally, if it's a super chat, I have to put it up. There's nothing I can do.
It's cool, but I want people to know. It seems like no one could be that stupid, or that lucky, or both. But yeah, that I swear that happened. There's no reason to lie about that. I mean, that truly happened.
I have one last question before I say good evening.
Yes.
KC Armstrong, spell follow.
I think I got it right before. Okay, so this is like spell red. So I guess it is A then. So FALOW. I said FO before, and you said I got it right. So asking me again tells me that wasn't right. And you
were right before. I was testing you to see if you would get it right a second time. So,
all right,
KC Armstrong, you ended on a blunder, and that's all people will remember.
Okay.
Blinky Jedi, he will not swear on a Bible. 199. Thank you. He's already said he will not swear on a Bible. KC Armstrong.
God's more important than Jedi.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you to all the dabblers. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Ricky Garcia, thank you for the happy birthday from the CEFC, but it is not my birthday. Thank you very much. But I did get unblocked today, so it felt like my birthday. Hopefully, after this interview, I will check it. Actually, hold on. Let's see if I am still unblocked. Wait, live on the air. Let's see. I have not been blocked. Thank you, Casey. You did not get me blocked just yet. Gagia, a pleasure. And I will see you in Pottstown May 13th with the Uncle Rico Show live. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Cardiff. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Any scoops before we go? Any teases for your next video to come?
Yeah, I got a John videos coming up, and expect a bunch of stuff coming. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Casey. Good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
Gagia.